There are a lot of us out there who have a ship that they cannot wait to get their hands on, either because it's been sitting in their Robot Space Industries virtual hangar for almost a decade, or because it will be specialized in some cool gameplay that we haven't received in the game just yet. Well, these are precisely those ships that we'll be talking about in today's video. Hello and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and in today's video I wanted to make a list of ships that unfortunately we won't be flying anytime soon for multiple reasons that we'll also mention in the video. And I've made a list of 7 of them, but I'm sure I've forgotten a few, so if you have another of these ships that I did not mention today or that did not make the list, well, don't hesitate to let us know in the comment section down below. We'll first start with the Genesis Starliner, and it's Jared Huckabee's favorite ship. It's also mine, so it means that we do have something in common. And the other thing that we have in common is that we are gonna have to wait for a long time to finally enjoy taking command of this ship here. And here there are 2 main reasons for that. The first one is, of course, that the ship is a passenger liner, and so it does not have its intended gameplay currently implemented in the game. And on top of that, it will also be able to carry nearly 100 people, players or NPCs alike, so we need to have the servers being able to reliably handle that many characters into a single place. But even if we did have access to all of that right now, it still wouldn't make much sense to have the ship in the game, as well, it is made to cover large distances with significant economy drawbacks, so we can't really for example, take it to Rune Station or Paro. It just wouldn't make any sense. We wouldn't be able to feel that. Plus, it doesn't have any economical draw as well. Nix also, we just will not meet the criteria. I think that what we need here is another major star system with enough population to establish profitable lines, such as, for example, a system like Terra, which I believe will be one of Cloud Imperial Games' main goals once Pyro and Nix will be released. Next, let's talk about the Misc Endeavor, and this is really a ship that I am afraid we will not see in the verse for a very long time, and for multiple reasons as well. First, apart from the medical gameplay, there's just no gameplay associated right now with any other modules that are planned to get attached to the ship's core. We don't have any farming, we don't have any scientific gameplay, and we certainly can't have any drug labs as well. If people had the Endeavor right now, would just be sitting in our hangar collecting dust, which is something that Cloud Imperial Games want to avoid for their ships. The next issue is the modularity itself, as there is no such thing in the game right now, and Cloud Imperial Games don't want to release a modular ship if they'll have to redo it again in order to fit newer standards, like they'll have to do with the Caterpillar, for example. Next, we'll talk about the Kraken, and now we are really entering capital ship territory. I mean, the Endeavor was already a capital ship here, but unfortunately, if you are a Kraken owner, I'm afraid you will not be able to enjoy your purchase for a couple of years to come, simply because when it comes to capital ships, the priority goes to the assets that will be used in Squadron 42, and in our case, these are the Idris frigate and the Javelin destroyer, both of which have been worked on for years now and are apparently still not finished, which of course tells you how long it takes to complete a capital ship. However, there may be some hope here because of its privateer variant, which will basically be a shopping center similar to how the Banu Merchantman will be. And the Banu Merchantman being well on the way already, we might even see completed next year, right? So that means that the Kraken could be the next ship for that particular type of gameplay that it may produce. Next, the Nautilus. And while we will probably not see the Nautilus for the same reasons we mentioned earlier here, there actually is a little bit of hope that it may be on top of the priority list once the Merchantman will be completed, and that is thanks to the upcoming work that will be done by Squadron 42 developers on side missions, which will include the use of drones, which will be heavily featured with this ship, for example for the retrieval of mines. And since it is an Aegis ship, it could also be using some of the assets used by other ships like the Hammerheads, for example, for its looks and interior as well. Next, let's talk about the Perseus. Now, the Perseus is a wet dream for a lot of capital ship owners out there. It will be capable of dealing significant damage in ship-to-ship combat thanks to its double size 7 turrets, while also being able to operate on a skeleton crew. Unfortunately, it's likely that we will not see it for a while, as it was concepted quite late during Star Citizen's development, and that means that it's probably not going to make it into the single player campaign here, Squadron 42. In addition, its manufacturer, Warp Space Industries, has another capital ship concept phase that is older and more popular, and Club Imperial Games will probably want to release this one first and then use the work to then do the Perseus. And that ship is the Polaris. Now, this is a ship that a lot of us were expecting to perhaps see in production this year, perhaps because it made an appearance on the roadmap, at least in the progress tracker. However, our hopes were recently shattered in an episode of Star Citizen Live, where John Crew informed us that the ship was actually, in fact, undergoing some reconceptualization that we should hopefully discover during this year's Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Again, given how long it takes for Clan Imperial Games to build a capital ship, even if they started production after the conceptualization, it would then take up to 2 years to finish the ship, as John Crew said it takes. So I think that, again, owners of the popular Corvette will have to redouble their patience. Next and finally here, we will talk about the Gatek Railin. Now, it really breaks my heart to include a Railin on this list, because I'm really interested in alien races in Star Citizen, and especially how their societies are organized, including how their economy works. And so, when the Railin was introduced as a Xi'an cargo ship with a brand new manufacturer, of course I did not hesitate and grabbed one for myself, but that was also a purchase made while being fully aware that this ship could be another Starliner or Endeavor, as it will probably take many more years to get in our hands. And again, given how late it was announced, it probably won't be featured in Squadron 42. It also has the disadvantage of being the only ship of its manufacturer, meaning that Cloud Imperial Games cannot use any existing arts or assets to make this ship faster than they would make other ships, nor do they have any reasons to make this ship first to then facilitate the creation of other ships of the same brand. It's also going to be the first Xi'an ship that is actually going to have an interior, so it also means that a lot of the concepts, such as Xi'an bathrooms and other parts of the living quarter, will have to be made for the first time, which will then define how they will operate for future Xi'an ships. So Clan Imperial Games will want to take their time here to make it right for the creation of future ships of the species. And that is all here, 7 ships that I believe we will not be flying for many years. But let me know in the comment section down below, guys, if there are anything else that you think I should have mentioned. Perhaps the Endeavor, or that was it, perhaps the Odyssey, or perhaps as well the Legionnaire could be the case as well. Well, let me know if you own any of those ships as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Be on the lookout for a future video. We got the giveaway video coming up next normally, and we got an amazing prize. It's only going to be one prize, but it's going to be a big one, so you may want to be checking this one as well. A big shout out to Dr. Forbin, Captain Steak, Geek Citizen, Eric Olm, and the DJ Dunn. Big shout out to Geek Citizen for raising his pledge, by the way. Really appreciate that, man. And it's been the Eradicator. I will see you guys later.